he was talking to you kids, and Orion said to him, Dad, I don't want you to leave. And he left. That's so painful, when a kid is asking you to stay and you as a parent is saying, I have to go,
It was like watching someone do something that you knew was wrong, but they kept telling you that it wasn't wrong, So it like messes with your sense of like what is reality and like what is right and wrong. Because I feel like I was seeing things happening and I was like, this seems fishy. But then like everyone was like, no, this is normal. And it's like, I don't think so, but it's like, and it wasn't, right? Which we all then came to the conclusion that it wasn't eventually, but it took a long time to come to that conclusion.
What's going through Dad, what I think about Dad is like, what's going on with you?
I think in all of this, I felt very alone. I did not feel like I really had any allies. And I mean, I knew that we were, just like, I didn't feel like there were people where I could be like, hey, we're going to be a united front, right?
All right, yeah, no memory. I mean, I have a memory of it, but I don't have like any, I only remember it now because I remember that being a situation at some point only because you just reminded me of it. I would have never thought about it in a million years. I have not thought about it. I have no emotional attachment to it.
I remember coming home from work and seeing his car and just going, ugh, what's he doing? Why is he here? Because it wasn't like he was, unless they're invited in by that mom or that dad. And Dad, I think, just felt like because you were still here and he had the right to see you, he had the right to just come into this house.
I wish I could have talked to her more. I wish that I had the ability to communicate better. I wish the two of us had been able to talk about things that we never talked about. That would have been really good for us. And even if we hadn't stayed together, if we could have at least have talked about things, I think we would have created something a lot better. But I didn't have those skills.
Why didn't I say something to him? Because I was chicken, for one thing, for speaking up for myself. And also, I felt like you and him, these should be spending time together. And I don't want to make a big deal out of it right in front of you, because it seemed like that was the only time that I could make a comment. And I didn't want to make you feel bad.
He was supposed to come back that night or something. And then I was sleeping with Mom in her room. And I woke up and Mom was like freaking having like a panic attack, freaking out, basically. She has these little jangly bracelets. She was jangling them. There was a lot of jangling happening. It was like 3 a.m. I don't know. And then she said, something bad's happened to your dad, or I think something's wrong with your dad. And in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, Dad's dead, And it was like super confusing because Mom clearly didn't know that he was home yet and was freaking out. And I had just found, Mom had just said to me, something's wrong with your dad. And then Dad was right there. And then him and Mom got in this huge, yelling match because Mom was like, dude, I know what you were doing. Because he was supposed to have been home by then. But they were like yelling at each other and I was like sitting right there. And then you both slept through the whole thing. Or I guess, I don't know, you both didn't get up. And then the next morning, we all had to get back up and go to school, and you guys didn't know, and I knew.
For Ariana, when she said, to him, you either choose me or her, and he chose her, how painful that was for Ariana. And it wasn't between you leaving my mom, it's that you're leaving me, your kid.
I feel like was always being given this message growing up, and especially during that time period of like, Ariana, you're so angry, you're so angry, you're so angry. And that was a really frustrating thing to hear, because I was like, of course I'm angry. Like, my family is being broken apart in front of me, and no one is being held accountable for the pain that they're causing. And it was just very frustrating, because I feel like, right, like if I was just crying all the time, I bet it would have been a different response, right? I think people would have been a little bit probably more sympathetic to me. But because I was yelling, people were like, Ariana, you really need to get your anger under control. It's like a personality trait of mine. I'm like, oh, Ariana, really quick to anger. That's probably an emotion that I'm more comfortable with, right? But like, I think it then in turn, like, I think I've really internalized that of like, oh, I always have to be like trying to be more mature, right? Because I feel like I got messages of like, oh, this is like immature that you're doing this, you know? It's like, yeah, I was immature. I was 14 years old, right?
You never judged me. Well, I don't want to say you never judged me. You might have judged me in your mind. And that's fine. Maybe that's not the right word. You always were someone who would reach out. And you may not even have noticed what you were doing. But you would show up. You would come and spend time with me, even when I know it had to be kind of painful for you to go back home. I don't know what happened when you went back home. I remember one time I had a conversation with you. I said, Marcel, I remember driving in the car with you, bringing me back to Oshkosh or Ripon or whatever, saying, I really appreciate you coming over and spend time with me. I know that I'm guessing that there's probably that you're probably catching some flack for that back at home. And you said, yeah. And just had a serious expression, but you said, yeah. And you know, that's what I don't know what happened when I wasn't there. I don't know what happened between you and Mom and Anna and Orion.
Am I the only one that's seeing this? You know, like, why is everyone else not pissed? Because this is fucked up, what just happened. And it's like continually messed up. And I feel like no one else is getting angry about it. And so I think I was frustrated with you sometimes, because I felt like you wanted to be this like peacekeeper figure in the home of like, just, you know, like, tell Dad you're mad, you know, like, you don't have to be buddies with him right now.
Ariana and Orion were getting after you, and I just felt bad, you know, and I just know that there was that whole escalation of, you know, drama in the house with Anna and you.
I was so angry that someone could do that, something like what Dad did to Mom, and I felt like it was a betrayal to Mom to like entertain a relationship with Dad.
All I can say is that I felt like at a time when I was, I kind of needed somebody to throw me a buoy. I was drowning in some ways. And you threw it to me. You know, you threw me the lifeline. You may not even known what you were doing. But there were times when I seriously just wanted to give up. And thinking about you and thinking about the fact that I might see you in a week or I might see you in a few days, just spending a little bit of time walking in the park, going for a bike ride, just really simple things, you know, that was huge for me. I don't know what it was like for you, but it was huge for me. It was a big impact on me.
I think that, you know, you had really friends. Dad never really had, during our marriage, any strong relationships with men. He never had any guy, in my opinion, he never had any guy friends. He would kind of see you guys in the morning and then see you into bed. And I think he would like read to you a little bit. This is probably when you were still in 5th grade. He would come over at night and read to you a little bit, and then he would leave. But it was always just this, you know, he was trying to make things seem normal for you. But I wondered, did that seem normal? That, oh, I'm still here for you, you know, still here. I'm not, but I am, you know. I remember him saying so much right early on. He says, I'm not leaving you, I'm not leaving the family. I'm not leaving you, I'm not leaving the family. I'm still here, aren't I? You know, I haven't left you guys. I haven't left the family. And he was more than willing and able and could very much justify getting on that bike and riding away. And again, I just felt helpless. I didn't know what to do. You know, I could see that you were hurting and I didn't know what to do. I mean, I did, but I